Thank you for joining us today. You're watching San Diego Entertainer and Lifestyles TV show, your source for everything San Diego. My name is Angel Starr. The San Diego Entertainer magazine has been published in the San Diego market for the past 20 years and has been a leading source for news in San Diego of what's hot to do, best places to go, from the best brunches to the best beaches. Today our show is going to cover the businessy side of things. We're going to meet with some local experts and get some tips and suggestions. For our first show, we were on Coronado Island. We covered the history of the island, we covered the beauty of the island, and fun, cool things to do while you're there. So we're going to jump over and check out the Village Pizzeria. It's a beautiful pizza shop that has an amazing background, and I hear it's a great place to watch the 4th of July fireworks.
Established in 2002, the Village Pizzeria quickly became known around town for their delicious New York-style pies.
Here we are at the Village Pizzeria, and we've got these amazing looking pizzas here, this enormous patio, but what I just can't get over is this view. It's stunning.
Right. Here at Village Pizzeria, we offer $1 million view right on the water without $1 million prices.
Yeah, I was looking at the menu. The prices look really, really reasonable, and I also saw that you guys actually offer a lot more than just pizza.
We do. We have huge salads, calzones, pastas, sandwiches, as well as a wide variety of pizzas.
So what kind of pizza do we have in front of us now? These are a couple of your personal favorites, right?
They are. This is our pepperoni pizza. We like to say size matters. And everything's a little bit bigger. Our pepperoni's no exception. As you can see, it's extra, extra large.
Yeah, it looks good.
Here we have our Sicilian pie. This is a favorite on the East Coast. It's not as well known as the West Coast, but we're trying to bring a little bit of the East Coast flavor over to the West Coast side.
Yes, and I hear that you also are bringing a little bit of East Coast water to the West Coast.
We do. That's what sets us apart. We ship in authentic New York water to Village Pizzeria and use it in all of our dough. We actually did a taste test to see if the rumor is true that it's the New York water that makes the pizza over there so much better, and it won out, so we've been using it ever since.
They are the only local pizzeria whose dough is made from authentic New York water and shipped in directly from the source. This attention to detail has earned them the title of top pizzeria in San Diego, as well as being voted best pizza parlor in Coronado.
Thank you, Alyssa, so much for showing us around and letting us sample all of this great food. For our viewers at home, if they wanted to come and try Little Piggies or Village Pizzeria, where would they find you?
Here on the Coronado Ferry Landing at 1201 First Street, you'll find Little Piggies Barbecue as well as Village Pizzeria Bayside. Also, the original Village Pizzeria is across the island at 1206 Orange Avenue, just a couple of blocks away from the Hotel Del.
So there you have it.
We are so grateful that Steve Sexton shares his financial expertise with us through our magazine and TV show, and we're excited that he'll continue to do so in the future. As you know, San Diego Entertainer and Lifestyles magazine and TV show is your place for everything San Diego, and what's talked about more today than the matters of money. So we have connected with Steve Sexton, the president of Sexton Advisory Group, and he's going to be talking about just that. Now, Steve has had his own Money Minute segment on Channel 6 for over a year, and he's also been a financial guru to the San Diego Entertainer magazine for longer than that. Steve has been providing sound financial services to Southern California residents for over 15 years and is in the top 1% of money managers in the entire country. His advice has helped thousands of people, not just in print and TV, but he's also held many free workshops. Plus, he's been working very closely with charities for the past several months, using a very unique concept he's going to talk about today. He just hosted a special event recently with legendary entertainer Pat Boone that brought hundreds of people together to honor our military and celebrate charitable giving. We caught up with Steve recently at one of his offices in Rancho Bernardo. Steve, thank you so much for being with us today. We're honored to have you be on our show. You've been very busy with TV and print and on Channel 6's San Diego Living with your own Money Minute segment for over a year. So we're grateful to have you with us today on our show.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. And the first thing I want you to talk to us about is this unique concept that you have. I understand your specialty is evaluating an individual's financial plan thoroughly and finding money that's fallen through the cracks. It sounds intriguing. Can we start with that and you tell us a little bit about
Sure.
that?
Angel, what we do is we put the people we work with through a simple 3-step review discovery process. Now, we ask them questions about their estate plan, their tax plan, how their income flows onto their tax return, as well as what their investment plan is all about. And then we ask them questions about their personal situation, their personal financial situation, and we overlay them on each other. Now, we take that from not only a now look, but a look forward proactive look. When we do that, we start identifying ways that we can help people assure whatever decision they've made is the right or wrong one for them. When we start doing this and ask all those questions, we start finding thousands of dollars falling through the cracks. And as a result, we've been able to help people reduce their taxes, save money on fees, and we've also helped them reduce federal income taxation, sometimes tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars that are going off to the ones that they love.
And Steve, I understand you offer this consultation for free?
Well, we do, but there's a caveat there. We want to make sure we're going to be able to work with somebody. Plus, we want to be able to understand what somebody's situation is before they move forward, because with our firm, we want to make sure they're a good fit for our firm as well. So we do offer it for free.
Steve, so for today's show, will you touch on a couple topics that are hot on people's minds regarding money matters? Can you give us some expert advice?
Sure. You know what? In the economy, there's a lot going on right now. We're starting to find out that unemployment's remaining stagnant at a little over 9%. We found out the Federal Reserve isn't going to be raising interest rates. And many economists don't think they're going to be raising them for 3, 4, maybe 5 years. And as a result, that affects a lot of people that have CDs at 1.5% interest rate, but inflation's about 2%, and then they're paying taxes on that. More importantly, we have people that are in bond funds. Now, bond funds, the average bond fund's returning somewhere between 2.9 and about 3.5%. And what people do is they'll take all that money out for income, but what they're not realizing is they're paying 1.5% to their advisor of that 3%. And then they're paying taxes on top of that, and then they have 2% inflation. And the reality is they're churning down their money. And people need to wake up to this, because you know what, 4 or 5 years down the road, they're gonna lose a lot of money. And on top of that, what happens if we have another downturn? I mean, it's almost like a Michael Jackson moonwalk. You know what, you look really great, you think you're moving forward, but you're actually moving backwards. Now, the second thing is this. Since we're in very turbulent times and we're seeing stock prices go up and down, I mean, we've lost 7% and gained back 2% all in the last 6 months. Now, what people are doing is they're not focusing on the sectors of the marketplace that are growing. And they're pretty easy to identify. I mean, what is the country putting money into? Energy or alternative energy. We see gas prices going up. There's a lot to go about healthcare and technology. You know, the other thing is people are still stuck with companies and holding them in their portfolio that have no value. And what I mean by that is the analysts believe a stock might be worth $100 a share. And the stock price might be $130 a share, which means it's overvalued. It's not moving forward much any further. In fact, when the market goes down, it's going to go down significantly. So people need to take the time now to sit down with their advisor to understand what type of portfolio they should have moving forward, especially in these turbulent times.
Recently, we were able to be a part of a charity event held at Tommy V's Del Mar, where Steve Sexton and legendary Pat Boone teamed up to honor our military. And the next thing we want to talk about is about your charitable giving and the unique concept that you've coined that brought about this whole charity event with Pat Boone. Can you tell us about how that came about?
Angel, as you know, Pat Boone's one of the who's who's of legendary entertainers. And you know what? When we started talking to him about this event, he got very excited because it covers his 2 major passions, which are the military and charitable giving. Angel, just a little less than 5 years ago, I found out I had colon cancer. Had to go through an emergency surgery and 6 months worth of chemotherapy. And when I was in the hospital, there was a gentleman in the room next to me that had just lost his eyesight due to an accident. There was a charity in there helping he and his family get used to his new life situation. And when I was going through chemo, there was ladies that brought in wigs for the ladies going through breast cancer. It was really cool because it was like the fashion day for wigs. And then there were other people in there that were chemo buddies that helped people get back and forth between chemo. And I thought, you know what, life's been really good to me and I survived this and I need to give back. I thought, you know what, maybe I could serve meals, mop floors, but you know what, my skills are in the financial planning field. I help people find money falling through the cracks. So I found the Financial Knowledge Institute. They're a 501c3 that doesn't take any donations. It's all supported from the advisors because the focus is to provide good education to people who are employed at businesses so they can make better financial decisions. We teach them about the 6 steps of retirement. That's my piece. There's an attorney that teaches wills and trusts. There's a mortgage person that talks about how to get the right mortgage and a real estate person that talks about real estate. Now, I took it to a new level. I wanted to give back to charities, and I wanted to do it in a big way. And in the last couple of years, charities have been hurting. In fact, some of them actually have fallen off the map because they don't get donations anymore. And I felt, you know what if I can help people find money falling through the cracks? And if I do that, would they consider giving some to charity? Hey, no pressure. And it turns out it's worked really, really well. Many people have now asked the Financial Knowledge Institute to find a suitable charity to give their donation to.
And I understand that you were able, at this event with Pat Boone, to give away $10,000 to two very notable charities.
Oh, yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Sure. Because of the work we've done with the Financial Knowledge Institute, we were able to give $5,000 to the Rancho Santa Fe Rotary Club. Now, they have so many philanthropic causes, and they've been doing it for many, many years. Plus, they are a big supporter of the military. And then one of Pat Boone's favorite charities called Ryan's Reach. They support brain-injured individuals and their families, because a lot of people don't realize this, is the insurance runs out pretty quick, and they need money after that.
How in the world were you able to raise that $10,000?
Angel, I'll give you a couple examples from the money that we used to donate at the Pat Boone event. Now, one couple, they were very frustrated with their advisors because they had an annuity for over 30 years. It was worth over $500,000. And you know what? If they pass away, their one son is going to receive almost $600,000. That's if it's tomorrow. But the big problem is he's going to get a 1099 for over $500,000, resulting in over $250,000 of taxes he's got to pay. And their frustration is, hey, I worked hard for this money. I want it to all go to my son, not just a little bit, and I don't want the IRS to get any. So what we did is we set up a plan to where, hey, look, what if you live another 15 years? What would it be worth? We figured it'd be about $1.5 million. So we set up what's called a second to die life insurance policy. That was worth $1.5 million. So when they both walk away from life, their son's going to get $1.5 million tax-free. Now, how do we pay for that? Well, we got that annuity company to make payments over 10 years to reduce the taxes. Okay, but the problem is each year you got some taxes there. I asked them, do you want to give that to the IRS? And their answer was no, because they hate the IRS. So I said, what about giving some of it to charity? So what they did is they made a corresponding contribution that offset the taxes to charity, and that's $5,000 a year. So they didn't know who to give it to, so they asked us to give it to, and they thought it was great because they have a lot of military people in the family, and that's how it went to the Rancho Santa Fe Rotary. But the cool thing is, the charities, they're going to give $5,000 a year for the next 10 years to charities. That's $50,000 going to charities. Now the next one is this couple, they had a very inefficient income and tax plan. A lot of people don't realize this, but according to the IRS, 7 out of 10 taxpayers are paying taxes on money they're not even spending. And with them, it was that case, and they had an ineffective income, investment plan, as well as a tax plan. Turns out we were able to increase their income from 4% of their assets to 6%, and at the same time reduce their taxes. In fact, we saved them $7,000 a year. Wow. Now, that's not just 1 year. 10 years down the road, that's $70,000 in savings.
That's awesome.
It took them about 3 weeks to come back to us and say, hey, we're going to donate $3,500, but we don't know who to give it to. But when they found out we were going to donate to Ryan's Reach, they felt very pleased because they have a nephew that is a quadriplegic and has been to the same institute that Pat Boone's grandson's been to. So it's very cool, and it's very exciting and very fulfilling for me to do stuff like that.
Steve, that is fantastic. And from what I understand, those are just a few of the many client stories that you have of your clients giving back their found money. Mm-hmm. What a novel idea.
Well, I thought it was a novel idea. Helping people find the money falling through the cracks and just, hey, consider giving some back. But when I started talking to Pat Boone in his office in Sunset Boulevard, he just goes, you know what? This brings back fond memories.
Steve, this has a deja vu element to it because you're reminding me of something, not that I ever forgot it, but way back in an early part of my career, I was making a lot of money, but I was paying huge taxes. And I wanted to give to charities as much as the government would allow me. But my own accountants were doing things in just the staid, old, conservative ways, and I wasn't being able to give what I wanted to give. A man came to see me. He was an older man. He had helped start mutual funds. He really knew the ins and outs of finance, and he said, let me help you, and I won't charge you anything. All I ask is what you're asking now, is that you give, which you want to do anyway, part of what I save you in taxes to charities.
Steve, that was incredible. You are really helping people help people.
You know, it's because of all the charitable giving that we've been able to put on this special event. We were able to invite several members of the military to our event where Pat was our special guest. We also had Lieutenant Colonel Tom Richards, who was a Navy Cross winner, share some special thoughts on the military and how those men and women serve us so well.
Steve, what a way to honor our soldiers. Thank you very much for honoring them the way that you have.
Angel, it was an honor to have them there. What was even more special is Pat's patriotism and excitement over having the military there. I had a chance to speak with Pat, and he's so grateful for our servicemen and women and what they do.
And again, I'm tonight thrilled to have this opportunity to salute the military.
Steve, I've really got to hand it to you. You're really covering all the bases. You're finding people that lost money. You're finding ways for people to give back to notable charities, and you're honoring our servicemen and women. Keep up the awesome work.
Well, thank you.
What is next on your calendar?
Well, in July, we're going to be helping Hospice of the Valleys. Now, Hospice of the Valleys is almost 30 years old. They work with people who are in the latter stages of life, might be going through terminal illness, and they help the families through that process and the bereavement process. Now, one of the special things they do is they help people who are underinsured or don't have insurance at all. That means they pay for their own equipment, the whole shot, and they have to do it through donations. Now, what we're doing to give back to their donors is we're providing a workshop at the Faulkner Winery in Temecula. We're having wine tasting there. There's going to be hors d'oeuvres, desserts, raffles, auctions, the whole shot. But I'm going to be talking about the 3 advisor myths. I'm going to be talking about, hey, if you have real estate, what are the 3 questions you need to answer before you sell it, and many, many other things. So we're going to be providing some good topics. We're there to support Hospice of the Valleys. They do a wonderful job, and you know what? They do need the donations, and we're going to give back to their donors by providing some great education and some great wine.
Steve, that sounds like another awesome event that you're planning, this hospice event on July 13th. And I understand that people can contact your office, your website, your phone number to find out more about this event, to sign up for it, or to schedule a free consultation where you can help them find their money that's falling through the cracks. Or they can come in with their friends and their spouse and sign up for your free workshops where they can get more financial information from you. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Wonderful. Thank you so much again for being with us today. We look forward to having you back on our show, and we're going to continue to feature you in our San Diego Entertainer magazine on a regular basis. So thank you so much, Steve.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We all have worries in life. For most people, being able to provide for their family's future is their top priority. To do this requires proper planning. So after searching carefully for a top resource to provide the very latest and expert guidance on this critical topic, we found one of the best. The law firm of Walters & Ward. R. Michael Walters, Mike to his friends and clients, is the senior attorney at Walters & Ward. Mike and his team have helped more than 22,000 clients over his more than 35 years of experience and continues to help protect clients' families and properties from the many problems which can arise by not having the proper trust documents prepared for their personal situations. Mike is a renowned speaker, having presented his free estate planning workshops to literally tens of thousands of people. In addition, he's been asked to appear on many radio and television shows, sharing his experience and expertise with listeners and viewers throughout Southern California. The goal of Mike's free estate planning workshops is simple: to provide the necessary education on this critical topic so they can make intelligent decisions about their future. Mike teaches attendees what they need to know to have the proper estate plan in place for their loved one's sake and their own peace of mind. Mike uses a unique, interactive, and fun teaching style that provides a very clear way of teaching people the effects of not having proper documents in place and how to prevent specific problems. Many attendees of Mike's workshops have seen firsthand the heartbreak their friends and families have suffered due to these issues. And now, with such a tumultuous economy, more people than ever are reaching out for help with their individual needs. If you have questions about your personal situation, please contact the law firm of Walters & Ward at 1-877-779-9529 or go online at walterstrustinfo.com. Walters & Ward never charges to speak with an attorney, so you can schedule a free consultation or find out where the next free workshops are being held. Mike will also be providing ongoing legal advisories, so watch for those in the weeks ahead as well.
Financial knowledge almost needs to be a personal continuing education as the economy continues to morph and change. So recently we met with John Ryan, President and CEO of CardLink Inc. John Ryan, the CEO of CardLink Inc., has been servicing San Diego County and the entire United States for over 18 years. We're here at his office in Kearny Mesa, where he's serviced over 3,000 merchants like internet companies, telephone order companies, retail stores, mail order companies, and we're here today with him. He's going to share some tips for business people that are needing to incorporate a credit card processing system into their company. John Ryan, thank you so much for allowing us to be here today.
Well, I'm glad you dropped by, Angel, because today so many people are lured in with these low-ball discount rates. They see them all over the place, 149, 129, but it's not about the discount rate, especially for the small to medium-sized business. It's about the fees. People are being charged fees in the amount of $10, $15 for a statement fee. Before you know it, the small business person is paying $80 to $90 a month before they do any transactions at all. So it's about the fees. It's about the fixed fees that are most important for small businesses.
I understand when you incorporate credit card processing systems that most companies offer you a long-term equipment lease. Is that still the norm? Is that still something you suggest doing?
No, no, no. These things lock you up for 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
You're paying 10 times what you need to pay on this equipment.
Wow.
You can buy this equipment wholesale pricing. You can get payments in sequence. Do not do a 4-year lease. You're going to pay at least 10 times more than you have to on the equipment. And they lure you in with these low-ball discount rates. They sign you up for a 4-year lease, and then they're gone. They're nowhere to be found. You're stuck with this lease and a fixed fee buyout at the end of it.
With a cancellation fee?
Unnecessary. With a cancel fee.
Oh my gosh.
So don't do it.
So John, thank you for these tips because it's educating us as consumers what to do and what not to do and what questions to ask.
If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. These advertisements of 129 and all this kind of stuff, there's hidden fees behind that. So read everything that's behind that.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, when you sign up, make sure you at least investigate the termination clause, because people are getting really burned by these really, really high cancellation clauses. They get in, the rates go up, they can't get out. It's awful. I see it all the time. And thirdly, go with a company that you trust is going to be there for you with the equipment, they're going to be there for you with the processing, that you can call up, you know the people that you're working with. It's very important.
For more information, visit CardLink's website at cardlinkinc.com or call the number at the bottom of the screen. And John, thank you so much for having us here today.
It's
We
my
really
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, John, so much for that valuable information. Now, San Diego is rich as well in top-notch educational institutions, with Platt College being one of them. Now, Platt College has been around for 30 years, where they have been educating San Diego and offering creative arts degrees. Let's take a look.
Platt College has been a media arts college, privately owned since 1980 in San Diego. Our areas of specialization are graphic design, web design, video production, 3D, and animation. We are very proud of the technical skills and the creativity we nurture here. The majority of our students move on to successful careers in those areas.
Platt is really unique in the fact that it has really small class sizes, and I think that really plays to the advantage of students learning complex software. They really get the one-on-one attention that they deserve. There's 2 instructors in a class of 10 students. At Platt, you don't feel like a number here. Everyone knows each other. So even if you're not in the same department, if you're in the video department, animation department, web, it doesn't really matter. Everyone knows each other, everyone gets along, and you can collaborate on projects even outside of class.
I did a lot of research. I'm actually from the East Coast, and I studied about 150 schools. And Platt College is actually considered a number 3 in the underground circuit, only because the number 1 and number 2 both went to San Francisco, and they're the starters of Pixar. And number 3 came from here.
Platt College offers an intensive curriculum in which our students can matriculate towards degrees but can be marketable during the education process. Many of our students engage in corporate internships, gaining valuable experience while still in school.
I love working in the video department. Main reason I think is because of the students that I get to work with. They want to learn with you. One guy's great at editing, another guy's great at color, another's great at Pro Tools. By the time you're done with that class, you are going to be great at editing, you are going to be great at color, and you are going to be great at Pro Tools.
We have very good products here that it's really easy to catch on. I had nothing, I honestly no knowledge of Apple, of InDesign, Photoshop, and I caught on everything in about a week with the amount of help that I've had here.
Marquetta has been the dean of Platt College for the last 5 years, and anyone who attends Platt College can attest to her involvement with every student. I believe she knows every one of our 350 students by name personally.
We sent abroad about 130 people in the last 4 years. It's called Short Study Abroad. So we go for about 2 weeks. We went to Japan, Spain, Italy, Greece. We are going to China.
Well, one great thing about Platt is they do have a lot of extracurricular activities. We go to a different foreign country every year. I actually went on the Japan trip a couple years ago, which was a life-altering event.
For the Winter Arts Festival, I did a Tahitian performance.
We do within the year many events, but the Winter Art Festivities is kind of a culmination of everything what we do and finale of the year, where we dress our campus with lights and especially artwork of our students. If graduates want to contribute, they may contribute, and our teachers, anyone is welcome.
This past week, we have been doing a fundraiser for Japan. We've been selling coffee and tea and snacks, and then we're going to send all the money to Japan, and then we're also folding 1,000 paper cranes, and we managed to fold 1,200 paper cranes.
So basically the first step to applying for financial aid is meeting with the financial aid officer and just giving you an overview of the different programs that we offer. The federal Pell Grant are monies from the federal government that you don't have to pay back. I am very proud to say that I work at this school because it is a school that really puts students come first. When they're on this campus, they are taken care of.
Life invites us to create, care, and enjoy.
There's nothing we can do alone.
Only together we can become complete. And it feels good.
When at one time
and in one place,
people find the same vibes.
Thank you so much for joining us today on San Diego Entertainer and Lifestyles TV show. Please tune in again, and please give us your feedback at sdentertainer.com and let us know how we can continue to cover this fine city of San Diego. Have a great night and a great 4th of July.